Hello, YouTube. Back again. I wanted to talk today about going live doing gun control. It's going to be a big topic. It's going to be most of the summer that people be talking about this. So I'm going to just try to get a head start on here now. It's not going to be an easy thing for people to really get a grip on because there's so many different angles to this because of so many different shootings. Matter of fact, we had a shooting here yesterday afternoon where the DEA shot a young man over where I grew up at in my old high school where I went to school at. That was yesterday. It was a DEA agent that shot this guy. And so we don't know what's going to happen with that. It could be another Minnesota up here in the next few days. But it's crazy. I mean, shootings are going out of this. I mean, there always been a lot of shootings, but not like this. I mean, I understand it, and I guess none of you guys understand it, and there's no way to figure it out. Hey, Shaky, how you doing? And it's just no way to figure out what to do. So I'm gonna just sit up here and I'm gonna talk about guns because, see, I love guns. I bought my first gun back in 19. I think it might have been 81, 82, because I know I had got it before I got married, and I had it. It was a rifle, the first gun that I bought, but I got others. Hey, Free Hanley mate, how you doing? Hey, hi, hey, Homestead of course, how you doing, Robert? So like I said, we had a shooting here, and he's a young man, teenager, and the DEA guy said that two teenagers came up on him and tried to do something to him. They had guns, and he opened fire. This DEA agent, they was doing something over, like I say, where I grew up at, over my old high school, and the uncle, he came out and said that they didn't do it. So here we go. We don't know. One side. So we're gonna see what happened here. Like I said, I don't want to be in another Minnesota out here with things going crazy. And that happened yesterday afternoon. All right, so let me get into the thing I want to talk about. I want to talk about guns and gun control. Now it's coming. I don't know how they're gonna do it or exactly what they're gonna do, but they're gonna do something. They're gonna put the assault ban weapons in, assault ban on assault weapons, and they already have magazine capacity in some cities, in some states, and I don't know. And I don't even know why they call them assault weapons because they're not fully automatic. And and this one guy told me he would not take one of them into an army battle situation because the people would get killed. I don't know. I don't understand it myself. Hey, my Alabama farm life, how you doing? Hey, Adam, how you doing? I say. So anyway, like I said, we going back into time. We going back to the 1800s where you have a shotgun on him. It may be a six shooter. There won't be no more automatic pistols, no like Glocks. There won't be Colts, six shooters and stuff like that. Lever action rifle. I love a good Henry or a Winchester. I love a good rifle. But there won't be no more AR-15s, AR M16s, and AK-47s. All that stuff will be gone. Even though gun sales has been spiking this last couple of weeks since Biden got on TV, it said that they're going to do something about this gun control. They're going to throw it in the hands of Congress, but he has signed an executive order anyway and said that we have 60 days from the day he signed that executive order to implement gun control. I don't know how it's going to do, but I don't really know because I never experienced this before. This is all new to everybody. I mean, they've been talking about this for years and years and years, and usually they let the states handle it and they let the states handle it. Hey, Heritage Heart Homestead. Okay, I'll catch you later. And Lori Crochet Corner too. Hey, hi. And like I said, I'm just catching up on this stuff because, like I said, they do it every year. Like my state recently just signed Stand Your Ground law, which I applaud, because people, you know what get me is these people that got Secret Service agents guarding them. They don't understand that we don't have Secret Service agents guarding us. All we have is what we have. You know what I mean? If you got a handgun, you got a handgun. If you got a knife, you got a knife. If you got a can of bear spray or mace, that's all you have. But who's going to defend us? Because we can't really count on the police to get there for the police in your neighborhood. I mean, they say the police are supposed to get here within the next 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I done called the police a couple of times. And I'm in my past, and I'm gonna tell you, they ain't showed up in no 5 minutes. I think the earliest they came once was like 15 minutes. I called them once. I had my house broken into because my alarms went off and my house broken into, and I called the police to tell them that they need to come over and check out my house and do the fingerprint dust and stuff like that. They showed up 2 days later. See what I'm saying? I mean, you can't depend on the police to show up when your life is in danger at that moment that is in danger. People might say, what are you talking about? I'm just saying, call the police right now, saying that your life is in danger. See how long it take them to get there. It ain't like they're going to walk from one room to another, and I'm right here in a few seconds or a few minutes. It's going to take them time to come from wherever they come from. So I don't know. And then we had our precincts realigned around here about 2 or 3 years ago, which made it worse. So I don't know what's going on in here. Like I said, they want to take us back to the 1800s. They want everybody to have double-barrel shotguns or single shotguns and stuff like that. And they want everybody to have 6 shooters. You know, they don't want us to have anything that shoot more than 6 bullets. Mm-hmm. Hey, Uncle Al, how you doing? Let's see. Robert said they will be doing bad things to us pretty soon if they disarm us. It's coming. We can't, you know, I can't say we can't let them disarm us because, see, then I'm subversive and my channel will be tagged. I'm just saying I don't want to be disarmed because I worry about not only what's going on here, but what's going on over there, you know, China, Korea, you know, Russia, because I want to know how all that stuff going over there is going to affect the home front over here. I mean, I remember about 2-3 years ago, the United States Army bought up all the ammunition that they could. You remember that? And that's part of the reason we don't have any ammo out here on the market, and ammo is going through the roof because the Army bought a lot of the ordnance. That's what they call it, I guess. I mean, how that's going to affect the manpower and the resources we got here? What if you, let's say, a 68-year-old grandmother or grandfather, and you got a 21, 22-year-old nephew or niece or somebody that's there, they're helping you out on your homestead, and all of a sudden, because of what's going on over there, they get drafted. Now, you two guys are there by yourselves. You might be handicapped and not be able to do as much as you used to, and now your only support unit is now over in Taiwan, Philippines, or Japan over there, getting set to fight a war. See, so I'm not saying, see, everything that happens over there is going to happen over here. And then you guys are there at your house by yourselves. Excuse me. You guys there at the house by yourselves, and you got nowhere to defend yourself. If you get some, I don't want to call them hobos or stragglers. I'm going to just say homeless refugee guys that's been homeless for a while. They just coming through your area, and they looking to steal something. And you know, most crimes, I always say, most crimes is always crimes of opportunity. Most people won't steal or kill unless they get an opportunity to do it and they get away with it. Really, if you leave your wallet on the table with money in it and you walk away and somebody else is in that room that have an opportunity to steal the money in the wallet, 9 times out of 10, unless they your relative and you know them really well, it could be a stranger, that money's gone. It's always a crime of opportunity. Some people say, I didn't mean to do it. because they had the opportunity to do it, they did it. So I'm just saying that's what happened. Oh, they buffering me again. I wouldn't doubt it because they don't want me to talk about gun control. No, we are not related. Okay. So like I said, it could get real sticky because everything that the government finna do with this war situation, which I think we will be at war by the end of the year, if not sooner. That's why we're pulling all the soldiers out of Afghanistan because we don't need them there anymore. We need them We need them somewhere else, and we don't want to have to do like we did in the last two wars where we have all volunteer army. They want to start the draft again, but they ain't mentioning it yet. But they planning on it. Believe me, because we don't have the manpower unless we draft to compete with three armies that we might have to be fighting at one time. And I don't care about our NATO allies because they full of shit. They always throwing that stuff on us. But anyway, let me get back to this red flag laws and stuff like that with this gun control. See, because the war is going to really affect what we do here and how our security here, because most of our young guys and good guys are going to be gone over there, and we're going to be stuck here defending ourselves with single shot shotguns and double barrels, while the criminals are still going to have their AK-47s and they automatic Glocks and stuff like that. So I don't know. Let me see. Hey, Fallen Skies Prep, how you doing? He says the war also will be on American soil. Look, Pacific Northwest, Southern states, Houston to Alabama, Mississippi to Florida, Georgia, up in North Carolina. You're right. We're not in a bubble. If they want to get over here, they can get over here. You remember that big cargo ship that was stuck in Panama Canal? You see all them containers on there, and you know how big those containers are. What if inside those containers were hundreds of thousands of drones? You guys seen them little drones that fly around, take pictures. What if they armed drones that not only fly around taking pictures, but dropping bombs on you? Let me give you a perfect example. You remember, what was that? Not White House, down Olympus has fallen. And the guys was out there fishing, Morgan Freeman and I guess the CIA guys was fishing, and they got all these drones coming around, blowing them up. Perfect example. That's what I'm saying. They didn't need but one guy to work the controls. And what if that was happening over the Suez Canal? Yeah, thank you. I was thinking Panama. Suez Canal. Yeah, what if that? And then inside those trucks, what if they got tanks? They pull up at the dock in Houston. You know what I'm saying? I did a video on this. I had a dream about that where they invaded us and they were just here. I mean, they just came in on cruise ships and they came in tankers like that, brought all their equipment. And before we knew it, because we never expected it, we were hit. We were fighting for our lives because most of our military, believe it or not, most of our armed and ready to fight military is not here. It's over there. It's over there to protect Europe, NATO, stuff like that. We got soldiers here. Don't get me wrong. We got army here, but they're not ready to go army. You know what I mean? They're not the Navy SEALs and the Rangers and stuff like that. Most of them is where they can strike first, and that's over there. So anyway, I was sitting up there talking about the people that trying to take our Second Amendment rights. See, the part of the Second Amendment that they don't understand and they tend not to read is it says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It don't say the right of the bears to keep the people or bears to bear arms. It says the rights of the people. People. That's me. That's you. We have the right to keep and bear arms. Now, as far as all these shooting goes, I don't know what to tell you. It's and everybody knows this, and then people will say this is a cliche, but guns don't kill people. People kill people. They had a guy with a knife kill two people just the other day. They got into a bar fight. He didn't have no gun. He had a knife, killed 2 people. So I'm just saying, people got the killer mentality. It's the killers that's killing. You know what I mean? It's not the guns that's killing. It's some people, and I said this in my last video, get wrongly classified. Like me, I'm a long time gun owner. I have never shot anybody. You know what I mean? I love going to the gun range. I love hitting the targets. I love practicing. I just love shooting. It's good. I enjoy it. It relieves a lot of a lot of pressure. But then you get the guys that go out there and they want to shoot up a school. Back in my day, they wanted to shoot up a post office. You know, nowadays they want to shoot up their jobs or just shoot people in general for no reason. So I don't understand it. And I don't like being lumped in that category because I'm a law-abiding citizen. I never did anything. You know, I don't even have a driving. I mean, I don't have driving violations on my. Worst I got is a parking ticket. Hold on. Falling skies. Let's see. Remember, Russia owns 2 islands in the Caribbean. China would take South China seas in 6 hours, including Australia, before we'll be getting to realize. You're right. Australia's in big trouble over there. They know it. Australia's in big trouble. Taiwan, Philippines, all them islands over there are in trouble. That's why we keep sending the Navy over there. They're not gonna be able to do nothing. If they start sending troops, they're gonna hit them bad because they're gonna hit Australia from 2 sides because you know they got a lot of Chinese in Africa. Well, you didn't know that they got a lot of Chinese in Africa. Greetings, everyone. Grandpa from San Antonio, Texas. AFJ M1061. Hold on a second to be able. Let's see, Rachel Vanderpool. You can have a gun, but don't defend, or you're either dead or go to jail. Go figure. And you know what? I'm gonna take my chances on going to jail. If I'm sitting here right now at the computer and my door is about, I would say, I'm gonna do it in feet, about 15 feet from where I'm at. No, I say 20 feet, 25 feet from where I'm at, and that door swings open. And 3 guys or 4 guys come in there with baseball bats, a knife, and a gun. And I'm sitting here, and I do have my gun. I'm not talking about this one because I always use my prop, but I'm just talking about I have mine, and they come in that door. Some of them ain't walking out that door because I am not going to die because somebody don't have what they need and they want to come and take what I got. I work too hard for this, and I'm not trying to mess with people. I'm not trying to hurt people, but I'm not going to let people hurt me. And I hope everybody out there don't let anybody hurt them. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's your spouse, if you're a female. I don't care if it's your spouse or anybody else. Nobody's supposed to be allowed to hurt anybody else. You know what I mean? And like I said, and I'm gonna direct this for the females for a minute. Look, if you got an abusive spouse, because I got daughters, and I tell my daughters know how to shoot. I taught them, I took them to the range. They know how to shoot. You know, and I told them, don't let no man put your hands on you because I'm not going to come over there and kill them. You're going to have to do that. Because if I shoot them, they're going to throw me in jail. But if you shoot them, that's self-defense because they are abusing you. But if he's in my house doing, I can shoot him because we got the castle law. But anyway, let me get to the point. Don't let nobody abuse you. That's plain and simple. That's plain and simple. Don't let anybody abuse you. And if you got a man that put his hands on you, leave him. If you don't want you to go, get you a 20 gauge shotgun if you're a small woman. If you're not a small woman, get you a 12 gauge shotgun. Don't load it with no bean bags. Load it with some double-I bucks and slugs, and he would never bother anybody else again. You can put flowers on his grave. And I'm just saying that. Okay, I know I shouldn't say that, but I'm just saying, don't get abused. Let's see. Hey, Red Road Homestead, how you doing? Hey, Sherry, how you doing? Hey, Clear Gray Skies, how you doing? Hey, Cindy Squirrel, how you doing? Let's see. The Anonymous Preppers in the house, how you doing? Oh, gave me a shout out on my last video. Thank you. Thank you. But I got a lot of old videos because a lot of this stuff I'm talking is the same that I said before. They're not going to take any homeowners insurance policy where you just go through the roof and you won't be able to afford it. You know, that's why I say if you do own a gun, do it legally. Don't go out there and buy one off of Billy Bob down at the local barn that's having a gun sale. But get it legally from a gun dealer, and they'll register it for you. And then get insurance. Insurance is cheap. I mean, it depends on how much you get. Like I got like $5 million insurance, you know, because you can get it through these gun agencies. I mean, USSAC, they great, you know. Get insurance on it, so you just pay that $20 a month, and don't worry about it because if you do shoot somebody and they try to sue you, they'll take care of all that for you. They give you even a lawyer and stuff like that. So let's say do it legally, especially if you're in the city, because you never know what might happen. Because people love to break in your house and do things to you and your family, and then cry that they need to be shot because he was a good kid and he was a good guy. You didn't have to shoot and kill him. Yeah, well, you may be right. He didn't have to, but he did get shot and killed. So that's a whole different thing. Let's see, Cindy Squirrel. I'm not really worried about two-legged intruders. I'm more worried about the four-legged kind where we have people hear a noise in the middle of the night and find there's a bear in the house. Woo! Let me put it, if you got a bear in the house, you better have a 10 millimeter. 10 millimeter or 45 and up. 50 cal if you got it, because you know you shoot a bear with a 9 millimeter, you ain't gonna do nothing to make him mad. You shoot him with a 380, he gonna knock that stuff off. But you gotta have if you got a shotgun with a double outs in there, or slugs, then you got to made. But shoot, you got to deal with a bear. I can't tell you what to do with a bear and something run, and then he'll catch you because they can run faster than people. Bears, man. Like I said, that's why I don't go out in the woods. Bears. I have a lot of respect for the bears. They terrify me if I'm in the woods because I watched a lot of old movies when I was a kid, and bears, Night of the Grizzly. Man, they something else. Yeah, so I can tell you, yeah, if you got to worry about stuff like that, the wild boars out there and stuff, yeah, you better have something more powerful than 9 millimeter. Like I said, you got to have a little something to get those bears. Yeah, like Anonymous says, for bears, 12 gauge slugs. That's why I say slugs. You know, he said you got a 30-06 or a 12 gauge with slugs. Yeah, you got to have slugs because bears got all that fat. See, that's what it is. You can't get through the fat. So you got to have something that's going to do some penetration. That's why I say if you do have a handgun, the minimum you have to have is a 45 or a 10 millimeter because they give you a little bit more power and speed. The slugs are a little bit bigger. But I recommend a shotgun. That's why I say everybody, I did my last video on my home shotgun. I got a shotgun. I got a sling that got 15 rounds. On the back stock, I got another 6 rounds. And then the capacity is 5. So I'm just saying, I don't want to have a shotgun out there that only got 3 slugs in it. If I had to shoot, because sometimes I might miss on the first shot, but I'm not planning on it. But I'm just saying, you must have ammo wherever you go. So if you do have a handgun and you do carry it with you, try to carry an extra magazine. It depends on what kind of gun you got too. And like I say, because see, everybody's not going to hit somebody on the first shot unless you practice. We eat bears here. I heard people eat bears. Shaky, you know what? Y'all don't have a whole lot of bears. Y'all got the brown bears. I mean, y'all got the brown bears and y'all got a few black bears down there because I know they always coming up through what's that over by what's that Ohio University down in that area. They always coming up through there. If you have a bear problem here, DNR will give you a shotgun shells with rubber shot. No, 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 no. My shotgun is not gonna have them rubber shots. If I pull a shotgun on anything or anybody, it's not gonna be shooting them to knock them down. Mm-mm. You say you only got the black bears down there? Yeah, well, you good because the black bears don't grow as big as the brown bears or the grizzlies. Hey, WG Glock and Roll, how you doing? Let's see, anonymous. However, for basic home defense, I recommend a 410 shotgun. Anyone can handle a 410, and a 410 will not destroy the inside of the house like a 12 gauge. A 410 will give someone a very bad day. You know, you can also get what's that? A Judge handgun that can shoot 410s and all that stuff. That'd be nice too. But like I say, yeah, especially like I said, if you're a small frame person, you scared of the recoil, a 410 is great. You know, it's not as powerful as the 20 gauge. It's not powerful as the 12 gauge, but you know, whatever you get, test it out first, shoot it, and see if you can handle it. Yeah, see, there you go. Shay, you talking about the Judge or the Governor? Yeah, they make those. Those are good too. I almost bought one, almost, but it's an ammo. It's an ammo thing out here right now. So we're gonna go back to the conversation. I drifted. I'm sorry. I was talking about gun compliance and gun control. You see what I'm saying? And another thing people don't realize out here, and I'm just gonna mention this because it's out here. You know, China bought up all the rubber. And then they had that rubber infestation where the things with it was the aphids or whatever was eating all the rubber. And now we have a rubber shortage. So next time you go buy a set of tires, you'll find out we have a rubber shortage because of China buying up all the rubber. That should tell you something. Last time a state, a country, or something like that bought up all the stuff was when it did because Japan was buying all the scrap metal, and then you know what happened? They sent it back to us as bombs. So that's what China's doing with this rubber. They banned all this rubber stuff. I wonder why they banned up all the rubber. We need to figure that one out. But you know, we got people in place like the CIA and NSA and all these other people that they supposed to be able to figure that out. Okay, we don't want. Let me tell you something. The other day, I was watching the video. It's on YouTube. It was Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham. You know Lindsey Graham. He was at a gun store. He was at a gun store and he was talking on YouTube, and he was talking to these people, and he was telling them that he's pro Second Amendment, that he owns an AR-15 and all this stuff, and he was sitting up there talking, and I was just sitting up there rolling. I was rolling because see, he preaching to the public what he need to do. He need to get down there in Congress, start slamming the shoe on the table. We're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. We're not going to let you take our rights. Stop making YouTube videos. You need to be down in Congress, and, you know, defending our rights because they coming at you. They coming at you because they got the Senate and they got the House and they coming because they always wanted to unarm the American people. If we become unarmed, it's gonna be like Nazi Germany. It's gonna be like Europe and Asia and all them South American countries where you can't have a gun, and that the government is gonna set policies on what you can't have. They're gonna limit the size of a knife. You can't have a knife over this long, not even to eat steak with. You can't have a knife like that. You're gonna have a small pocket knife. You know what I mean? They're gonna do all this stuff. First they're gonna take all the magazine capacity. Nothing over 10 rounds, nothing over 6 rounds. Then they're gonna say you can't import certain guns anymore. You know, no more AK-47s. Then they're gonna say, well, you can't make no more AR-15s. You know, because they too dangerous. So no more ARs. You know what I mean? I think Coke stopped making them anyway, but I'm not sure. I'm just saying, you're going to say, well, you can go back and like I said, you can have lever action rifles. You know, you can still have 22s, but the 22s can no longer have capacity over 20 rounds or 10 rounds or 5 rounds or 7 rounds. And they're going to do all these limitations and stuff like that, but that ain't going to be the worst part. They're going to limit everything, but the worst part is The worst part is when they hit you with the red flags, and they're gonna start making a national red flag registration. That's what's gonna hurt people. Let me see. Let me see. They say if you're using a 410 for bear, make sure you find a gun with a cylinder bore and only use 410 slugs. Yeah. You know, they got some guns you got where you can have the interchangeable barrels on some of those shotguns, you know, where you can shoot 12, 20, and 410. Yeah. I don't know how much those cost because when I bought my shotgun, it was only $189, but it's been a while. You know, because shotguns was under $200. You know, I used to watch those guys that say the 5 gun the 5 gun challenge, the 5 guns you need to survive, and everybody had all these 5 guns out there. I used to watch that. Every last one of them had a shotgun, a handgun, and a 22. And then they had a AR or something similar kind of battle rifle. Yeah, I like those. They want to outlaw all semi-autos. Yes, yes, they do. Even handguns. They want to, you know, Glocks. And see, I'm a Glock fan. See, I own most of the guns I own are Glocks. You know, and I like Glocks because I easily disassemble them, clean them, and they're reliable for me. You know, I have never had a jam or any kind of problem out of my Glocks. I mean, it's not like I go shooting every day, you know, but I never had a problem out of them. And like I said, then I like the fact that the 17, I can get a 30 round magazine if I wanted to, or a 50 round drum that can go with my pistol. But that's I don't know if I want something that much, you know. And the Glocks, I mean, you get all this aftermarket stuff they call, where you get a lot of capacity, and I always like that opportunity to have capacity. Hey, Rusty Pepper, how you doing? Hey, Alicia Pintiger, yeah, okay. How you guys doing? Adam said my first shotgun brand new was whopping $40. Wow. $40. What was that, 1970? Oh, wow. Guns ain't the problem. I love Glocks. Just expensive. Yeah, they're expensive now. They're expensive now. I seen somebody charging like $800 for a Glock. $800. I mean, they got it's just the price of guns are going out the window. They are outrageous. The price of ammo and guns, the price of ammo and guns are just ridiculous. Ridiculous. I seen the same guns I got where I bought for $400, $500 are selling for twice as much. I mean, really, they just gouging. They gouging. It should never be that much. Okay, you got the rush. Around the 70s, you got your first shotgun. Okay. My SKS has a 75 round drum. Wow. Wow. You can't even find SKSs no more. Wow. And you know, I think they made sure that they stopped importing those too. Those are nice guns, you know, because they have Chinese version, they had a Russian version, they got the Turkish version. They got a whole bunch of different types of SKSs. I always wanted to get one, but then I wanted to get an M14 too. So that's how that goes. Yeah. Take our guns away, and the bad guys are only one with the guns. You're right. You're right. We can't sit up here and say that we're gonna be safe if we give up our guns. Like every year here in Cleveland, Ohio, so I can only speak from where I'm at. Every year in Cleveland, Ohio, they have a gun bank at our local police stations. You know, they have it at the main police station downtown. They want you to bring in your gun. You get a $100 gift card from a local supermarket if you bring in your gun. But they say the gun has to be in workable condition. They don't want you to bring in no junk that you found rusted in the bottom of a river or something that you fished out. They want you to bring in a workable gun. They give you $100. Gun buybacks. And I always wonder what they're gonna do with these guns. Do they actually melt them down, or do they go check them out and then they put them in their own private stock somewhere down the line if they say this is a very nice gun, you know? But I don't really understand what they do with that. But what I do know is this: that when they do come with these red flag laws and all these other laws, it's gonna make millions of people felons. Gonna be making million people felons because a lot of people, I'm not gonna say a lot of us, I'm gonna say a lot of people are gonna hide their guns. Guys knocking on your door. Hey, this is DEA. We come to see how many guns you got. What do you got? They go in there, they search your house, they come in there, they go in there, they put AK on the table, they put a shotgun on the table, they put 3 Tauruses on the table, and they say, okay, the only gun you're allowed to have out of these guns is this shotgun. We are going to confiscate your AK, your Tauruses. And those of you who don't know what Tauruses is, those are usually handguns. They like Glocks, but they're a little bit less expensive, so they're Tauruses. And they take all your guns and they leave you a shotgun, and then they say, oh, by the way, you're only allowed to have 10 shots, 10 rounds, and no slugs, and no double-aught. They say no slugs and no double-aught buck. And now they give you a bird shot. Now what kind of stuff is that? I mean, really. And that's what's coming. And that's what's coming. I see it plain as day. They're gonna walk in your house. They're gonna show you their credentials. They're gonna go over there. They're gonna get all your guns. They're gonna put them on the table, and they're gonna explain to you which ones they're taking and which ones you're keeping. And believe me, the only one you'll be keeping is if you have a 6-shot revolver or a shotgun. And if you have 3 6-shot revolvers, they're gonna say, no, you over the limit. They're gonna say, look, you're only allowed to have 1 handgun and 1 shotgun. That's it. And that's what they're gonna do. If they do that, they might say you're only allowed to have just the 1 shotgun or handgun. And that's it. It's 6 rounds. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Hey, I remember you told me that before. You know, you lost all your guns in a boating accident. You know, I hear a lot of people saying they lost all their guns in a boating accident. It's a lot of boating going on out here, and I can understand that. I understand that because, see, it's coming. It's bad. See, like me, I don't worry too much about what's going to happen too much in the future because I don't think I'm going to be around another 20, 25 years. I would love to be around another 20, 25 years. But at my age, I'd probably be in a nursing home, and they probably, in the nursing home, they don't let you have guns, so they're going to probably take my guns anyway. I'm going to have to leave them in my will to somebody. Maybe I leave them all to Grady. Because, once you go to a nursing home, you can't keep guns. A lot of guns in the water. Yes, it is. And we got a big lake up here. We got Lake Erie. We got a big lake, and it's probably full of guns. Full of guns and full of ammo. But what's a gun without ammo? It's just a stick, There are even regulating metalsmithing equipment. Anyone can make one. Yes, you're right. Anyone can make a gun. I was working in a machine shop, and we used to do a lot of metal work. I operated the engine lathe, the CNC computer lathes. We had those. We had NCN. We didn't have the computer ones. They came a little later. We had the NCN machines. I operated all of them. I had the shaper, the punch press. I operated all the machines. But that's a whole other story, another life before I went to the post office. Live with the fish. I live with the fishes. Yeah, you better be careful. Next time you go fishing, they all might be armed. Fish all might be armed. They might be strapped. The new push in gun regulations is on ghost guns, home-built guns with no serial numbers. Yeah, I seen that, but I don't know too much about ghost guns, but I do get all the magazines. I get all the gun magazines. I think I got one. Hold up there. See, I get magazines like this. I get a whole ton of them, and they always and they're talking about you can buy upper and lower and stuff for your ARs and stuff like that. Buck stock and barrels and all that stuff. You can buy, bit by bit and put together your own system. And it's been going on like that for as long as I've been a gun owner and started reading a lot about guns and stuff like that. That people put together their own guns and stuff like that. But they want to stop it. And then I don't understand why the gun manufacturers going to let these people go ahead and do things. You know what I mean? See, now look, I'm not going to talk bad about the NRA. I used to be a member. My membership was up in 2021, which is this year. My membership is up because I got a 5-year membership the last time I got one. And the NRA, they're not doing what they're supposed to do, or else they wouldn't let this stuff happen. And I'm going to tell you something else. Gun manufacturers are not doing what they should do and let this stuff happen. You know what I mean? Even the inexpensive gun makers like High Point, which is in Ohio. High Point is in Ohio. It's not that far from me, which is down by Medina, and which is only maybe 60 miles away. They're all going to be out of business. It's just going to be like tobacco industries. It's going to all be out of business. Or if you want to get a regular handgun, a 22 or something like that, it's going to cost you $2,000-$3,000. You think gun prices are high now? Wait till later. Hey, Letta, how you doing? Let's see. My oldest son told me in his area of Texas, ghost guns are very popular. Yeah, there's no problem. They're very popular everywhere. Kansas, everybody was putting together their own system, and they were comparing who had the best system, And I'm gonna tell you another thing they're gonna do. They're gonna start having undercover people at these gun shows. See, we have a lot of gun shows in Ohio. We have gun shows just about every week at the fairgrounds. We got a lot of fairgrounds, and they always having gun shows. These Rusty Pepper say tobacco is still going strong. Yeah, but not like it was when I was a kid. But then look at the price of tobacco. Tobacco is higher than gasoline. What is the price of a pack of cigarettes? When I was a kid, you could get a pack of cigarettes for 20 cents. You can get a pack of cigarettes for 20 cents when I was in junior high school. That's when I started trying to smoke. But I found out one thing when I was in junior high school. If you got with the cigarettes, nobody else is buying cigarettes because everybody going to bum cigarettes off of you. So 20 cents back in them days was a lot of money to me. So yeah, so I stopped smoking because I couldn't afford them. Everybody else's habit. Yeah, that was back in junior high school. Same thing with cigars. I mean, cigars have always been a little bit more expensive, But like I say, it's gonna be rough on a lot of people. It really is. It's gonna be rough on a lot of people, and a lot of people are not gonna understand why it happened like that. Like I said, I'm very sorry that people get killed every day. I'm very sorry that you got people out there that's insane and crazy enough to go to a school and shoot everybody or anybody, a total stranger, for no reason. I'm sorry that you can't even go sit in a restaurant without worrying about somebody coming in and shooting you while you're eating the Happy Meal. I'm sorry for a lot of things, but I have no control over it. And I don't think that people should put control over me over that. What you need to do is find out why these people are doing it and find out why you didn't catch it. Because see, most of these people, like I said in my last one, you may get a few people that own guns for a while that might do some stupid stuff like that. You know what I mean? Maybe go after a spouse or something like that. But most of these people that do these crazy shooting are stealing guns from their parents. You know what I mean? Yeah, they ain't going out buying guns. They're stealing guns. And now the ones that are going out buying guns, they buy them 2 or 3 days later. It ain't something that they've been planning for years. It's something that they happen to do at that time. They go out and get a gun, and then they go out and do some shooting. And see, you got to figure out how to stop these crazy. You know these people, they ain't counseling, and they ain't sitting up there, they talking about what they're going to do to this person, what they're going to do to this person, how they hate these people, how they even bullied by this person. And you psychologists out there, that's who they should get on. You psychologists out there, you should put these people on notice and let them know that they will be prosecuted Because a lot of them think if they do this stuff, they ain't gonna worry about it. But then a lot of them are suicidal. They shoot up a whole school and then kill themselves. So I mean, it's not the guns, and it's not the gun owners. It's the people that go out and buy guns to do this stuff. I think we only had one guy that I can remember this recently is the guy in Vegas that was a long time gun owner, and he went off and shot all them people at that concert that time. But I don't understand. Nobody ever figured out why he did it. I mean, he took a shitload of stuff. But I'm just saying that's 1 million. You know what I mean? Because look at the millions of gun owners out here. I'm talking about millions of gun owners. They're not going out there doing all that stuff. They're not. But you get these guys, these new guys going out buying these new guns. You know, like this last guy that did some shooting, he bought the gun the same day and went out and shot somebody. Guns for 30, 40 years and stuff like that. We ain't did nothing. And why do we have to pay the price? I see we buffering again, people. Guys, yeah, they get me. Hey, Preparing the Veterans, how you doing? Let's see. Way too many there to control. You're right about that. Like I said, so what you got to do is you got to start now with the new people and ask them about a lot of questions. You got a question there, but then they're allowing it. You know, just like these fellas that try to go to these gun places and buy guns. Let me tell you, I was in a gun place. As a matter of fact, I was going to the range, and I was waiting my turn to get me some targets. And this guy was in there. He was trying to buy a gun, and he was filling out the thing on there. And the guy said, "Hold on 1 minute." And he took the paperwork over there, and he did something. He came back. He said, "You can't have this gun." He said, "You a felon." And the guy was trying to buy a gun, and he was a felon. It was so funny to me. Me and the guy laughed about it because he said he get maybe 3 or 4 of those a month. Guys trying to buy guns that are felons. You say you had a shooting team in high school, Shaky? Wow, we didn't have a shooting team. We had gangs. Fences in schools and find the crazy people. That's all we can do. You're right. We got to find the crazy people. Has anyone mentioned ammunition control instead of gun control? Well, there's no ammo out here right now because I did mention earlier that the government bought a shitload of ammo a couple of months ago. I don't know why they did it, and ammo prices been dead because right now prices of ammo, like I said, a box of 9mm, $50 for 50 rounds. It's a bullet a round for 9mm. Last time I bought 9mm, it was $10 for 50 rounds. Now it's $50 for 50 rounds. So I'm just saying I don't understand that either. Well, my son works at church, is allowed to carry his firearm. You know, a lot of churches here are training people, security people, the normal parishioners that have CCW licenses like me to be armed in the church. Because, you know, there have been a lot of church shootings and stuff like that, the crazies. He said, my kids had teams in school. Yeah. Yeah, they used to. I know they used to have, when I was the Boy Scout, just going back a ways in the 60s, when I was the Boy Scout, you know, they always had these films. They got come in and they show these guys shooting these 22 rifles and stuff like that. And I always wanted to go to the rifle range when I was a kid then. But we didn't have that here. We only did a few things when I was a Boy Scout. We didn't do a whole lot. Look like air cap, baseball cap. This right here, Buffalo Soldier. See? 1866 to 1944. Buffalo Soldier. Air Cavalry got the same kind of hats because this was the cavalry. It's old cavalry, yeah. Yep. And I lost a train of thought from in there. I was talking about when I was a Boy Scout. Anyway, like I said, it's gonna be something we're gonna have to deal with. Everybody gonna have to deal with it on an individual basis. That's all we can do as people. We got to make our own decision because let's say I mentioned this before. What are you gonna do? It don't even have to be at night. In the daytime, they breaking in your house. What if you sitting at home right now, listen to me talk, and all of a sudden it's you hear something outside your door. So you don't give it no mind. It could be a squirrel, a raccoon, a possum, anything. And then all of a sudden you hear it again. You hear a window break. What are you gonna do? What's the first thing you're gonna do? You're gonna grab your gun. You're gonna grab the phone. See, if you're grabbing the phone, you might be dead by the time they get there. But if you grab your gun, you might save your life. That's all I'm saying. It's all I'm saying. I just want everybody to be safe. I don't want you just because you got a gun. Adam said in high school I ranked second in shooting at 22 cal in Tennessee. All right. Most of my family in Tennessee. That's where we originally from. Nashville, Shelbyville, and Chattanooga. I got a lot of people down there. Last time I was down there was in Nashville. But anyway, that's been I think 90, 93 last time I was down south. It's been a while since I was in Tennessee. Most of the people I knew down there were older people like me. They all passed away now, my aunts and stuff. But the younger people down there, they were wild. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't see too many of them anymore. Seeing more extreme violent reaction to counter small scale altercation. People too quick to jump right to a lethal option. You're right about that. But sometimes that's the only option you left to do. Because see, people nowadays, they don't respect everybody's property or their rights. It's a lack of respect, especially in the big city when you get people here. You got these people out here they walk in the streets. They don't pull their pants up, their pants are down around their ass. I'm just saying. And then if you look at them when they walking, they look back at you and think you're doing something to them. So I'm just saying, it ain't like it used to be. I don't know what it is, but they just waiting. It's just like they angry. People, young people. I mean, there's some old people out there, but we have a right to be angry. Life didn't treat us well sometimes. But these young people, they got their whole life in front of them and they just angry. Officers stand by the door. There's 5 doors in the sanctuary. Okay. Wow. Let's see. Yeah. Hopefully nothing ever happened. Hey, Ridge Life, how you doing? Ridge Life has a good channel. Like I said, I just want everybody to be safe. And I just want everybody to watch out for these red flag laws because you don't know who your neighbors are. And I said in my last video that, you can be just walking your dogs. He's feisty. He's like his owner. we walk, I don't walk through a lot walking like I used to, but we walk. And what if he decided to take a dump on somebody's yard? I mean, he's a little dog, a little bit bigger than a Chihuahua, And what if you take a dump on somebody's yard? The guy don't like it and get mad, and then we may exchange words. I'll probably pick it up and take it somewhere because that's what I do. I carry a bag with me if he do. But I mean, what if he get mad and then all of a sudden he call this old man down the street? He's a menace to society. I know he probably got a bunch of guns in there. I think y'all should go down there. I'm buffering. Y'all should go down there and check out his house. See what I'm saying? That's as simple as it could be. Somebody can be mad at you for walking your dog and he makes a mistake on their lawn, or there's somebody just want to call on you just for no reason. You know what I mean? Because they don't like you. And that's the truth. And that's going to happen to a lot of people out here because a lot of people going to just get called on for no apparent reason because they can. And like I say, this new gun control law will turn millions of people into felons because a lot of us ain't going to, I should say a lot of us. I say a lot of people ain't going to turn in them guns. What we're going to need is a RoboCop to protect us. RoboCop, they're going to have to make a lot of RoboCops out there. That way we'll feel safe. We got RoboCop on the job. The angry prepper said it better. You say cities like I live in, cities are gonna be death traps. They're gonna be, and it's gonna be food lines. It's gonna be murder in the streets. It's just gonna be horrible, horrible. And I can believe that. The humble lion, young people are angry because they have to deal with what the last didn't fix. It passed from one generation to the next. Yeah, see, we want you to be safer, Grandpa. Ridge life. Can you imagine the red flag laws in DRs saying a woman on a antidepressant should have guns confiscated? How many would that be? Wow. And you know, a lot of women on antidepressants because a lot of them go through that post menopause thing that they go through, whatever that is, and the postpartum. Man, I don't have the answers. They won't know the answers. They're just gonna put everybody in one big bag, and say this is it, this is it, this is it. You know, there ain't gonna be no individuality. We're gonna lose our rights. You know, and once they start taking the Second Amendment, which is a big right, which is big, and they break that, what do you think they're gonna do with all these other amendments? They can take this one and change this one. What about all the other ones? See, I was talking about start buffering. They're gonna change them, and they will change them. All they gotta do is break one. See, every time I say that, it's gonna change it. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about the rights. See, because they monitor my channel, and I'm not a fool. Because see, I'm sitting up here talking, and then every time I say certain words, it does that. And I've seen people channels get taken away from them like that. I've seen it before. So hold up here. There we go. So I'm just saying, you got to be aware. You got the right. No laws or no normal police measures can protect you. It is up to you. It makes so much sense as signs put up to tell the wolves not to attack the fawn. Hi, Robert. yeah, I got no trespassing signs out there too, but they don't read. They don't read. It's like if you got a 2 or 3 year old in the house, and you tell them not to do something, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna do it anyway. Because that's the mentality that most of these people got out here. You can't tell them not to do something because they're gonna do it anyway. Let's see. Humble Lion said the Second Amendment is gone. It's a wrap. You're right. Can you imagine we be living in them futuristic world like we see like that, like Fahrenheit 451 or George Orwell 1984? You ever see them movies where in the future you always wonder how come nobody has guns? You know, nobody has guns. They all got these police flying around on these little motorcycles and stuff, or they come in and they take your books and they burn your books because they don't want you to know about history or learn this and learn that. And that's what we had. If they take away the Second Amendment rights, that's what we had, because then they know they can control everything. Hello, Gail. Gail Southern Living. Congratulations on 1,000. Thank you. Gail got 1,000 subs. I'm so happy for her. Let's see. What's the feeling? They could so. Of the Second Amendment called Civil War. Let me tell you. You know what? People always say Civil War. I'm gonna ask one simple question. If you have a Civil War, who are you fighting? It's not the North and South. It's not gonna be Democrats, Republicans. Who are you gonna be fighting? That's all I got. That's why I say we could never have a Civil War, because you don't know who you're fighting. I mean, who? I mean, I still don't know. It's not cut and dry like North and South. Is it going to be rich versus poor? And where would the middle class fall in? Would the middle class fall into the poor category or the rich category? I mean, People say it's civil war like it's something they can do just tomorrow. It's not something you can just do after tomorrow. And the people with that stormed the Capitol should have learned that and known that by now. The government is not going to change, and they're not going to let anybody change it because they got the power. Oh, you may have the guns, or we may have the guns, but you don't have the power. That's plain and simple. People and the money is the power. Money. Don't you know that? The money runs everything in this world. And I will say aliens too, but I'm not going to get started on the aliens. I'll be here all day talking about aliens. Okay. Depending on their feeling of entitlement, all restaurants will be Taco Bell. I like the chalupa, okay? I like Taco Bell, and I like Chipotle. Because, I'm up here in the north, in Ohio, we don't have a lot of Mexican restaurants. Yeah. So far, I see the future looking like a film of the Demolition Man. You're right. That was Demolition Man. And that's where we heading. And that's what's going to happen. Kent Johnson Garden. Hey, Urban Grandpa. Hey, Kent. How you doing? Leslie. Hello, Grandpa. Love your videos. Thank you very much. Women don't need a gun. Remember the woman who killed her husband by using her car. I remember that. She ran him over twice to make sure, I guess that was a double tap. Yeah, but you know what? I'll tell you one thing. I sleep better at night knowing that if anything happened in my home, I can defend my home. I can defend my grandson, my daughters, my grandnephews, or whoever staying that night. I can defend them. And I can defend my wife and me, and I'm not going to worry about trying to call the police if something happened. Because, a lot of people say, well, I can just pick up a phone. I got a cell phone. No, you cannot. What if the power go out? And a lot of times, like when they had these blackouts, and we get blackouts here, if you an organized crime gang or something like that, and some of these gangs are very smart. That's when they hit you, when the power go out. And that's where they hit you. But they know one thing, your gun is working. So that's why I say, finally caught you alive. Oh, yeah. I've been doing live for about 6 months now. I gotta go. My love to everyone. I gotta go. My love to everyone. And God bless everything. Hey, Shaky, you take care. I'll see you later. And don't let the bears get you down there. Okay. So anyway, I think I said I drifted. How many of you really believe, and I said this before, and I think too many people respect it, that the police time in your community is good enough? That right now, from right now, while I'm talking, right now it's 3:03. If you push that button on that phone and call 911 and told them that you have an emergency here, that you got an intruder at your door, and if something is going to happen, you need some police right here, right now. How many people believe that the police will be there in 5 minutes? Raise your hand. I can't see your hand. But no, they won't be here in 5 minutes. They might be here at the minimum, I would say 10 minutes, at the max, not even to the next day. Because that's the police response time. And then a lot of policemen are quitting. They have a big hiring here. Nobody wants to take the job. Nobody wants to be police for it. I have law enforcement in my family. That's why you hear me say I won't shoot no policeman. I won't shoot them. Because I got family members that's in the law enforcement industry. Yeah, I call it the industry because that's what it is. That's what the prisons are. That's what prisons are now. They're money-making industries. So, like I said, I just say, let's say you usually have a 3-minute response time. That's great. That's fantastic. So you got 3 minutes before somebody kill you. But if you can hide out and find a safe space, you good. Never see police around here anymore. They just reactionary force here. But if you call them, they normally turn up in 15 minutes. Wow. In the UK, the police, Are these the ones gonna have guns? Are these the ones that's gonna have the big club? Because I know some policemen don't carry guns up here in the UK. But 15 minutes, it's a long time. You know, because sometimes, 1 minute can seem like a lifetime. Police have no duty to protect citizens for the Supreme Court. They will investigate and hold those that break the law accountable. They have no duty to protect citizens. But see, the problem is on the side of our police cars here in Cleveland, Ohio, it says protect and serve. So if they ain't gonna protect us, why do you even got that on the police car? They need to take that off. It's a cell phones in one hand, a gun in the other. Someone is threatening your life. So which hand do you choose wisely? Choose wisely. The red pill or the blue pill, like Morpheus. So I don't want to put my life in nobody else's hand. Maybe if I was like in my 20s and 30s, I wouldn't worry about it. I get me a baseball bat, wrap some barbed wire around it, be like Negan. Come on in. The water's fine. But no, I'm not like that. I'm like the old guys that will actually do something to you if you break in their house and try to mess with their castle. See, I tell everybody, and I tell anybody that want to come over my house, you come over my house, fine. No, there's no drama here. This is peace here. You come in our house, no arguments, no fussing, no fighting. And this house is peace. This is like a quiet peace zone here. I don't have a lot of mess. I don't have mess going on in my house. This is my house. And when you walk through that door, treat it as such as my house, not your house. And treat it with dignity and respect that it deserves. You ain't got to treat me with dignity and respect because I'm not even going to demand it. I'm just going to know I'm going to get it. See, but when you walk through that door, treat this house with dignity and respect. Don't throw trash on my floor, none of that stuff. That don't come in acting a fool. Because, see, this is what I own, And that's how I treat my house. And anybody coming here, people love coming here. They love coming here because they know it's going to be no drama, no mess. It's like they go to somebody else's house, there might be a fist fight or something like that, or somebody done got drunk and acting a fool. See, but here, it's peace, quiet, serenity, I should say. Okay, the majority of police in the city carry firearms, all have tasers. Okay, make sure they pull the right one, like doing another Minnesota up there, where the lady pulled the taser instead of the gun. Now they got all that mess going on. We had dogs and guns. I got a dog. I got a small dog, Jack Russell Terrier. His name is Guinea Pig. And all I want him to do is bark. He ain't got to jump and try to bite, attack nobody. Just bark. That's all I want you to do. And he's been trained well. He just don't bark indiscriminately. He bark at something around the house. Like some dogs just bark. Good dog is well trained, and he knows his territory. With the way countries are arguing, is anyone worried about the EMP or nuclear attack on us? But you know what? I figured out a long time ago. I tried to figure out things to do in case of an EMP, but I couldn't figure out anything reasonable in case the EMP hit. But if the EMP hit, so be it. But I still have all the rest of my stuff. I still have everything, my personal stuff. It's just my electric stuff when we working. But I still be in good shape. Because I'm a prepper. I got cans, I got other lighting sources and stuff like that. So I'm good. But as far as nuclear attack, it depends on where they hit. If they hit Yellowstone, we all need to kiss our ass goodbye because if it hit Yellowstone, if it hit Yellowstone, ain't nobody surviving. Nobody. Most of the world gonna die because they're gonna set that volcano off, and that volcano gonna start that cloud up there and block out the sun for I don't know how long, and plants are gonna die. Water's gonna get infested with the acid rain, and animals are gonna die. People are gonna die. So if they want to end the world, go ahead and missile over into Yellowstone Park if they want to. And we got a lot of missile bases up around there too, So I don't think it's very smart for anybody unless they want to commit suicide to start a nuclear war because they forget that stuff. You know what I mean? So yeah, but if it happens, it happens. Unless you got one of them fancy bunkers where you can ride it out for about 2 years, where it'd be safe to come back out. They say, of course, by the time they respond, one of the parties would most likely be deceased. Yeah, I hope it ain't one of us. I hope it ain't one of us. Here in the UK, it's illegal to carry anything that has been designed for self-defense. Oh man, I could. You know what? Prepare veteran. I mean, I pray for you guys over there because things are gonna get bad. You know what I mean? Things are gonna get bad. Because I have known God has control. Yellowstone. Yeah, I always say Jellystone because I be thinking about Yogi Bear. Yeah, no matter what happens, God took it. Yep. That's all we got left. I mean, you know, like I say, I read the Bible all the time. And I pray every day. So I hope that I earned the right to go to heaven. You know, they say it's 3 heavens, so I don't understand that because I don't understand everything I read, but, you know, I hope I get to go to at least one of them. Arnie, can we use anything at hand to protect ourselves with? We can't use anything at hand to protect ourselves. I mean, what you got at hand? I mean, maybe an axe, pitchfork, baseball bat. What about machetes? Machetes legal over there? Because I got a nice one. I got it from a Comic-Con. This is my zombie killer, just in case zombies come out. Bigfoot, see what's name. Okay. Hey, Bigfoot, Silver, and Hide and Seeker. See, you know, it's strange because, like I said, I like guns. I like shooting, but I live in a violent city. I mean, all major cities are violent. Mine is not as violent as New York or Chicago or Detroit or either Memphis or Houston. But we got our share of crime. We get some violence here. We slacked off for a while there, but now, you know, it picks up every year. And I'm one of those people that I hate to see anybody die from a gunshot wound or a mugging or a stabbing or anything like that. I think human life is precious. Maybe because I had a hard time when I was coming up. I mean, not a hard time living. It was just hard times. I mean, it was 60s and 70s and things are starting to change, you know. And then, you know, the economy crashed in the 80s, so it's just crazy. I got a tobacco knife. That is my zombie killer. The zombie killer. Man, you know what? I'm going to tell you one thing. Most people won't survive a zombie. I said this in one of my videos. Most people won't survive a zombie apocalypse. I know I won't survive it. I mean, I'm going to hang in there for a while. But by sheer numbers, we won't make it. We won't make it. Any size fixed blade is illegal. Wow. A folder must be non-locking in under 3 inches unless you have a good valid reason, which is job, to carry it. Woo! Man, I can't imagine. I really can't imagine. You know what? Every time some strangers come to my door, I'll be thinking, is this the day? Are they gonna take me out because I can't defend myself? Yeah, you know what? Rusty Pepper, Detroit was once called the Murder City, formerly Motor City. Yeah, Detroit had its problems, but now they don't have that many problems, that many murders because they don't have that many people now. You know, they burned up most of the city. Most of the city got burned up, most of the inner city. Then Chicago used to have a lot of problems too until they closed down those projects up there. Was it Greedy Greens? And they tore down all them towers. But see, that's why Wisconsin Milwaukee is having so much problem because a lot of them people that were living in those projects in Chicago, they moved to Milwaukee. They did. They moved to Milwaukee, Toledo. None of them went to Detroit. Some of them came here. Some of them went down south because they got vouchers from the government to move. And hence, my everyday carry is a Swiss Army knife. Yeah, if worst comes to worst, you can stab them with a fork or spoon them to death. You know, veterans. I know what you mean, but I couldn't live over in London. I couldn't live anywhere in Europe because see, I'm like one of them Americans they talk about. I like to carry a gun, own a machete, large blades is illegal, katana, etc. Carriage in public is illegal. Oh, okay, all right. That's cool. That's cool. 58% of all Americans own guns. Those in Alaskan cities have such a low chance of being shot. I thought more guns means more shootings. Huh. Not necessarily, but we're gonna find out because, like I said, Dick buying guns like crazy right now. I mean, it started. It started. I don't know. Over the last 5 years, gun sales have been going up ever since. Even when Obama was in office, and then Trump was in office, and now Biden is office. Guns, 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 guns. People that own guns and ammo, not people that own guns, no, people who sell guns and ammo is making fortunes. They getting rich. Maybe it's the media that preaches scare and fear tactics out there. I don't know. But what it is, they out there making a fortune. But now they finna get this rollback coming, and they gonna tell everybody double barrel shotguns, single shot shotguns, and revolvers. We going back to the days of Billy the Kid, Bat Dillon, the Wild Wild West, and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't know if I could make it in the 1800s, and that's what we're going back to. And not because of anything we wanted to happen, but because the government gonna tell us that's what's gonna happen. Because they like me, and I say this a lot of times, and I say this in a lot of my videos. I want to keep my guns because I don't want to be unarmed, underarmed when the bad guys come. I want to be on the same level or higher with the bad guys. If the bad guys come with an AR, I want to come with something like an AR. If they come with a Glock, I want to have a Glock revolver and a single shot shotgun. And this guy got an AR and a Glock 17 or a Glock 21. Now, we all know who's going to win that battle. I won't be winning that battle, but I'm going to defend myself. That's why I said we got to have at least, if not better, what the bad guys got. Because our lives might depend on it. Many people own ballistic vests. That's good. That's good. See, I don't own a vest. I'm not planning on getting shot. But if I did, I would get a vest. But then again, like I said, I'm a big guy. They got vests in my size, but I don't want to have to get a vest because I don't think I have time to put it on. If I did have a vest, and I seen some nice vests too. They got all this ammo stuff in there. They bulletproof vests. They good. Intent of breaking out cause of mass shooting. Let's see. Rest of the cars don't kill people. People kill people. You're right about that, especially up here because we have an opioid problem. We don't have a crack problem. We still got the crackheads and we got the heroin addicts, but we have a fentanyl problem up here. We had this month alone, we had 12 overdoses, and the month is only today is the 15th. See what I'm saying? In 15 days, we got 12 overdoses. And it's not a city problem, it's a county problem, because it's all over. You know what I mean? It's all over. We have an overdose problem here with this fentanyl that's out here, and it's killing people. And then a lot of people right now, they mixing cocaine with fentanyl to get them extra high or whatever. So I was just saying, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And then we got people out here that drive drunk. And I don't believe in driving drunk. I stopped driving drunk when I was in the post office because I didn't want to lose my job. And I was fortunate never to get caught driving drunk because in my early years, man, we used to do what they call bar hopping. We started on one end of the block. I'm talking about the long blocks, the long main streets, which is like 80 miles long. We go from one bar to the next 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 bar. Before you know it, 9 hours, and you be constantly drinking at these different bars. You go to this one bar because they got free tacos. You go to the next bar because they had free bowling. You go to the next bar because they had darts. You know, you go to different bars for different things because each person you were with, because we always went in the group, they always had their favorite bar. You walk in the bar and everybody knew his name. You know what I mean? But that was early in my career. I stopped that. I said, no, I can't do it. I can't drink like this. I get a DWI, go out and kill somebody accidentally. You know, because I was way on the other side of town. But I stopped that. Let's see. Chris Cleaver Crafts is here. I didn't quit drinking until I got caught, but it was one of my best things ever happened to me. The best thing. Yeah. Like I said, we understand it's supposed to be best instead of best. Yeah, Lisa. This estate says me too. Yeah, like I say, I don't drink and drive anymore. Matter of fact, I really don't drink like I used to. Matter of fact, I really don't drink at all, hardly. I may have a beer when I'm watching a ball game, but other than that, I don't do it. Unless we have a cookout or something, I have a couple of beers or something like that, or watch the Browns game. Sounds like Electric Avenue in Calgary. Really? Oh man, we had that. Oh man, I can tell you stories about drinking in the post office. But most of the mailmen I worked with, they were like drinkers. Man, it seemed like it was a thing to do in the post office. Let me tell you a little story, and I'm gonna leave that alone. My very first day on the job, I never forget this. My very first day on the job, the guy was training me. We go out. And back in them days, we used our own cars. That's before they had all these trucks and stuff. And so we went out, and I'm carrying the bag. He's socializing with the people on the route. And he's telling me what to do and where to go and how to. So at the end of the day, we finished up like 2 hours early, you know. But we didn't take a break or lunch or anything like that. And he said, well, what do you want to do? I said, I don't know. He said, well, come with me. So we get in the car, we drive. I'm thinking we're going back to the station. He takes me to a bar. We sat in that bar for over 2 hours, and within that bar was like 9 other mailmen, and they were all in there drinking. And I'm in there with these guys, my very first day on the job. I'm terrified because I think I'm going to get fired because they just going to get suspended. I'm going to get fired on my very first day on the job for drinking. And I never forget that. And then we went back to the station and like nothing happened. Clocked out. And Ralph says you need a drink to watch the Browns. Laugh out loud. Yeah, well, you were right. Watch the old Browns. You needed more than a drink. You needed lots of drinks. But now the Browns, since the Browns are 5-2 to win the Super Bowl this year, I don't know. We signed Devon Clowney yesterday. So I don't know. We might make some noise this year. It's been a long time. It's been a long time. Long suffering Browns. I remember when we won the Super Bowl championship. I remember that. See, I lived long enough to remember the good Browns, the good days, you know, Jim Brown running the ball, Leroy Kelly running the ball. I mean, Brian Sipe and Bernie Kosar, you know, and Frank Ryan. I remember all them guys. And then we go to the new Browns. I remember them too, but you got to take the good with the bad. That's the way it is. And like I say, people in Pittsburgh are going to find that out. Because the bad times are coming in there. Bad times are coming. It goes around, comes around. I remember the good times, and I remember the bad times. You ever take note of how many your neighbors have guns, or is that everyone? I see them, I recognize them, but I don't socialize with every last one of them. But I do know the ones that I got back and the ones that got my back, they do own guns because they are veterans. You know what I mean? They are veterans. One's Army, one's Navy. You know what I mean? And the other one, Dennis, he was Army, but they moved. The house is still vacant. Yeah. So So I know the ones that's important to me that has weapons. If something happen off and we have to team up, we good. We good. Okay, prepare better than you ever take those. Okay. So basically, I've been talking, man, I've been talking longer than I usually talk. I'm only gonna talk an hour, and that's almost an hour and a half. I'm sorry for keeping you guys so long because, like I said, I just, this new gun control thing is gonna just mess everything up. So all I can say really is why me, and then somebody gonna say now why not you? So like I say, we gonna probably end up with shotguns and lever action guns, and like I say, there's nothing wrong with a lever action gun. I'd love to have a Henry. I'd love to have a Henry, even a Winchester, but things don't work out that way. Now I don't even know if I ever be able to buy another gun in my life because of the way things are. So those of you that got them, I'm happy for you. Those that don't have them, you need to get something because see, if everything go bad and shit hit the fan and everything go bad, and it's rioting in the streets, or even basically just any kind of other civil unrest, or everything collapse, and you don't have a gun, and gun is part of survival and prepping, what are you going to do if you had to leave and go somewhere else? I'm just going to ask you that. Where are you going to leave? I mean, where are you going to go? Let's see. Canadian proud to get outdoors. What up? Everyone is going to be busy in the garden. Sorry, I'm late. Yeah, talking about restrictions they don't do to us. Oh, okay. The only football team in my state is Dallas Cowboys. I'm not a fan. You got Houston. You got Houston also. Well, Houston, Texas. But I remember when they used to have the Houston Oilers. They were robbed. One of the biggest robberies in football. When the guy got his feet down and they didn't give him the touchdown. That was the biggest robbery in football. They made songs about it. But that's a whole other story. Dallas. I used to be a Dallas fan back in the 60s. I was a big Roger Staubach fan. Craig Morton, Calvin Hill, Bob Hayes, Mel Renfro. I'm a big Dallas fan, Chuck Howley. Back in the day, back in the 70s. Big Cowboy fan. I had an NFL team, an NFC team, and an AFC team. Me and my brother. We always had teams we rooted for. He rooted for the Washington Redskins. I rooted for the Dallas Cowboys. But we both rooted for the Browns. But that's a whole different story. Yeah, so anyway, my question to you is, while we doing this, are you going to be a felon? Because a lot of us are going to be felons. And if you are a felon, are you going to feel like you're doing the right thing? Because, see, I can't say I will because they go back and they'll view these tapes and stuff like that, and they say, well, he said he was going to be a felon. I'm saying if I decided that I was going to be a felon, I wouldn't feel bad about it because I feel I'm doing the right thing for me and my family. I'm not going out and causing any trouble. I'm not going out and trying to shoot anybody that don't need to be shot. They're trying to break in my house and hurt me and harm me and kill me. But other than that, basically defend myself. Basically that, I won't be feeling like I'm a felon. I feel like I'm an everyday Joe. Like the guy say, remember Joe Namath? I remember Joe Namath. I watched one of the best football games of my life, watching Joe Namath and Johnny Unitas go head to head with the Baltimore Colts and the New York Jets. They were going head to head. I think it was 1971. I seen some football. I figured I would put on this world to live in what at the time I was living in. The 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and all the way up. And then I got to see some of the best games ever. The best football games, some of the best baseball games, and some of the classic basketball games because, the Cavaliers won the championship, coming back from 3-1. But I'm just saying, I can say in my lifetime that sports has always been good to me, even though the Browns had about a shitty 10-year period. We still had some great times in Ohio, in Cleveland. Let's see, witchcraft. Earl Campbell. Earl Campbell, man, I would never want to tackle Earl Campbell. Great running back for Houston Oilers. Don't have a lot of money, but I have 3 months of food and water prepared. Let me tell you something. If you got that much food and water prepared, you rich. Because, see, money ain't going to mean a thing. If we have a collapse, Let me ask you this: if you remember some blackouts, you can't go to the ATM machine. There's no electric power. And then if you did go to the electric machine, the ATM machine, and go to the store, the cash register ain't working because there's no electricity. But if you got food and water, you can barter. People might come over and say, "Look, I don't have any food, but I got this. I can give you this. I got a transistor radio that you can keep track on what's going on, or I got some toilet paper here. And you just give me a can of food, and I give you 3 rolls of toilet paper and a transistor radio. See, you rich. You rich. Anytime you have food and water, you got money. You got money. Scenario bartering. Yeah, a lot of people in Sarajevo died though. They really died. It's almost like the Warsaw Ghetto back in World War II. In Poland, they starved to death. They walled them off. They blocked them in. They wouldn't let anybody out to get anything and everything. And everybody in there just died. Hey, woman to woman homestead. Hey, Leah Smith, my good friends. How you guys doing? Hope you guys having a blessed day. Okay. So anyway, like I said, so you if you get, like I say, you need 3 things: food and water and a way to protect yourself. Because if you got food and water, we don't want nobody to come and take what you got. And that's my whole thing. See, that's why I'm Second Amendment. I don't even think there should be a law that say you need to have a law to own a gun. It should be just automatic and common sense. That's what gets me. And anytime you make a law for something that should be just regular understanding, that you're giving somebody else the right to take that law and change it and take it from you. And that's the bad thing about this whole thing. It should be common sense. Everybody should have the right to own a gun. I was at Servio with the ability to go across where the supreme source. Yeah, you got to feed yourself, man, because if you don't, it's going to be bad. It took a year to save that much food. Okay. But I say, yeah, save a little bit at a time. I said like in some other videos. Save what you can, because whatever you save, how long you tend to want to use it, it might save your life. So you might be someplace where the people, I'm gonna say FEMA, even though FEMA ain't shit. I'm gonna say FEMA, where FEMA can get to you, but they might take them a month to get to you. You might have a month worth of food. It might save your life. It might save your life. You can say those 3 months of cans and water that I had saved my life, because without that, I'd been dead. Hey, Lake Ferry Prepper, how you doing? Oh, I got vegetable seeds. Let me tell you, I started. Well, what's today? 50. Next week, because the weather's been kind of crazy up here. Next week, I'm gonna put my seeds out and start my garden. I got a container garden. I'm in the city, but I grow a little bit of something. Like every year I try to grow a little bit of something. Sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. My potatoes always work out. I grow some potatoes. My potatoes did good. My greens I grew one year got ate up. The plants got ate up by the aphis or whatever. I did have a watermelon out there, but something came and got my watermelon. Ate my watermelon. I was mad. I was gonna eat that watermelon. Yeah, and like I said, my onions came up good. My onions and potatoes did good. My corn didn't do so hot. I think the deer. Believe it or not, I'm in Cleveland. I got a deer problem every now and then. Deer came and ate my corn. And yeah, so I grow a little something. I'm not a gardener, but I prepare for food. Okay, yes, yeah. Right. That's right, Chris. The rights are inherent. Let's see. Local quarter can't keep fresh strawberries or raspberries. They meat on the shelves just looking like they've been a while. You know what? We're in a meat shortage. We're in the food shortage, and the food prices are going to go through the roof. Food prices are gonna go through the roof. So, like I say, every time you go to the store, buy a can or something to put on the shelf. You know, buy what you got to get, what you're gonna get, and buy a couple of cans or something. You know, whether it's some tuna, where's some salmon, where's a can of soup, you know, something, you know, and put it in your little box for pepper for your prepper stuff. That's what I did. Now I got a lot of stuff just in case. We got watermelon growing under lights now. That's great. That's great. So, yeah, you gotta grow. You gotta grow your own food. So, like I say, everybody that listen to me now, sort of get your own little garden started too. You don't have to have a big place. Like me, I got like some containers. I got some totes, some big old tote buckets, and I got them outside. And I plant me a garden every year and see what grows. Like I said, I'm good at growing potatoes, which is not that hard. And like I said, the last year my onions came up good. My corn didn't do so good. My greens, they got eaten. But this year I'm gonna give them another shot. You know, I'm gonna keep growing every year. Every year I get a little bit better. And every year I'm gonna try to expand another bucket until I decide to go out there and dig up my yard. But see, I'm skeptical about digging up my yard because I worry about somebody coming in my yard and stealing all my vegetables. You know, they take all your garden and steal all your stuff if they're hungry, and you can't do anything to stop them. So, but with my gardens and the containers like yeah, I'll move them inside. But that's a whole other story. Let's see. Prep. Grow your own food, water filtration. Yes. Yeah, see, I'm right by the lake, so I got to make sure I can purify my water. I mean, I got water put away, but I'm definitely have to purify water because you never know. And don't forget hygiene. Make sure you got a place to do what you got to do. You know, get your hygiene set up, stuff like that. Because see, that would kill more people than anything else. Listen to what I hear. We have tomatoes, beans inside our mother's day weekend, potatoes outside. Wow. Oh, okay. Drina is in Colorado also. Okay. Studios did once themselves. Okay. All right then. So look here, everybody. I'm gonna call it quits because, like I said, I usually don't talk this long on either, none of my videos. I talk long, and I usually don't sit up here and talk this long. But I did because, like I said, I had a few people ask me questions, and then I got sidetracked on different things. You say I don't stock up on food, really have a small shelf too. Seeds, knowledge, and thrive during survival time. It's smart to stock up on for sure. Yeah. Yeah, you everybody should be stocking up right now because like I said, we headed for a food shortage. We didn't have a good growth season this year. The big people, and then my channel gonna start buffering. Bill Gates bought up all the farmland, so no telling what he's gonna do with that farmland. And you never can trust anybody like Bill Gates because they are in it for all the money they can get. So anyway, I said, say, grow your own food, stock your own pantry, prep, get all your stuff together, prepare for the blackouts because we get storms here all the time. And storms are going to come. And your power is going to go out because the grid is old. And no telling when they're going to be able to fix the grid. The grid is old. That's why you get so many blackouts. So, and then, like I said, this video is about guns. Get you something to defend yourself. I don't care if it's a 25, a 22, a shotgun, something. Because if things go bad and we end up in the movie like the Blackout, where things were bad and people going to people's houses and trying to take their stuff because they didn't have anything and they thought they were bigger and badder than they were. Just have something to say, no, this is bigger and badder than any one of you guys. Leave me alone. And that's what you need to do. Because you don't want to cause no trouble, but you want to be safe. Okay, then. All right, I'm gonna have to go because, like I said, I've been talking almost an hour and 45 minutes, and that's wild. Because see, I don't want us to end up in a situation where, because of what's going on over in South China Seas, is going to cause us to have problems here in America with our manpower and our resources, which I think will happen because anytime we go to war, and I think there will be a war coming in probably by the end of the summer, maybe earlier. Yeah. So I don't want anybody to be stuck out in the dark, because that's what's gonna happen. And our resources are gonna be limited pretty soon because they're gonna really start cracking down on, like I say, everything we buy normally, like they did before you, where you couldn't even find toilet paper. You know what I mean? Or, but they brought that back now. So I'm just saying, we don't have to be afraid of anything because the economic forecast around here is pretty bad right now. They talking about more stimuluses. They say another fourth stimulus coming by the middle of July. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with that, but they throwing money at it, and that's like FEMA do. FEMA throws money at it. They don't really help you, but they just give you money to take care of it, I guess. Okay, great live, bud. Hope everyone stays safe. Much love, Canadian Proud Outdoors. All right, then. Like I said, I sort of started to drift there toward the end, and remember, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, and that's what this whole video was about. I mean, they will come with the red flag laws. They got a 60-day thing already out there where Biden has said to Congress he wants something done within 60 days, and it's going to happen. They're going to ban AR weapons. They're going to limit the capacity on the ones that's still here, and I don't know how they're going to do the rest of us because there's so many people that own guns. Millions of people own guns. And then you can say, you can multiply that by 5 or 6 times because most people own more than one gun. They get one, they might own 10. Some people might own 20, but it's out there. All right, then. I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for showing up. I love all of you guys. I'm glad you guys subscribed to my channel. And thank you, YouTube.